Okay, in today's tutorial, we're going to use Python to read some simple data and plot it. We'll use the Fortran format library to read the data because it's in Fortran format. So here's the data, okay? The first line here is this Fortran format statement. We're going to extract that and use it to read these lines of data. Now, we don't really need to use it, but we're using it today. We're going to plot the data using the vpython library. Let's take a look. In this first line of text, line 3, we're just going to declare a couple of arrays to hold our x, y, and z coordinates and our labels. On line 4, we're going to open the file, fakedata.txt. That's this file here. See? Then these next couple of lines are going to split our first line to get the Fortran format out and to pull out the number of dimensions and the number of concepts in this data set. Not that important what those are, but there are these little pieces of text here. And these three numbers, the 15, the 10, the 17. And see, each one takes up 3 characters. And so we're going to start right after we split on a space. We're going to grab 3 characters here. We're going to skip 3 characters. We're going to grab 3 characters here. So now we know the number of concepts and the number of dimensions. And then we care how many concepts are on each line because it's really how many dimensions are on each line. How many coordinates, rather, are on each line because we only care about the x, y, and z coordinates. We're going to skip the rest. We're going to only plot the first 3 dimensions. All right, so we go to this while statement here. That's going to allow us to loop through the lines. And in each line, we're going to read some coordinates in. We're going to assign them to our x, y, and z arrays. We're going to skip a couple of lines until we're done reading the coordinates. Then we're going to do the same thing, or we're going to then loop through the labels here. Right, so first we read through the coordinates. We read the first 3 x, y, z coordinates. We skipped a couple of lines, and then we read the next x, y, z coordinates. We skipped a couple of lines, read the next x, y, z coordinates, and so on until we're down here. Now it's time to read the labels, and we're doing that here. So for each label in the loop, we're going to append it to our labels array. Now the next step is to open up our vpython canvas. In vpython, we draw on a canvas, and the first thing we're going to do is create one. We're going to create one with a title, with a width, a height, and we'll tell it what background color to use. There's a bunch of other options. And then we're going to make a little box here. That box is going to be our floor. See, it has a height of nothing almost. It's 200 by 200 length and width. And it's semi-transparent. See, its opacity is 0.5. Then we're going to loop through our arrays of coordinates and labels, and we're going to plot them. The first thing we'll do is print out the x, y, z coordinates. And we'll make a sphere, we'll make a label, we'll make an arrow. Now with each of these things, we have to say where to put it, and that's this position parameter at xyz sub I, right? Because I is going to let us loop through this range from 1 to the number of concepts that we have. And that's going to allow us to grab the ith coordinate and use it to position our sphere, our label, and our arrow. All right? Each one of these guys has a bunch of parameters too. You can take a peek at them, but you can go look at the vpython documentation for more info on those. Let's see what it looks like when it runs. There we go. Let's take a look around. So we can control click, tilt this thing a little towards us and see the floor. And we can kind of rotate around the scene and see the various data. All right? Not too bad. Hey, I hope you enjoyed it. This demo of vpython to plot some simple data in 3D. Not too bad.